All right, today is lesson 22. Lesson 22. All right, I need everybody's book open, please, to 76. And we're looking at lesson 22, multiple fractional factors. So you guys have already started this. We said the key, like number 30, was that we were going to reduce first. So again, this is the lesson that I was telling you is coming, where we're going to reduce. So if you have a bunch of fractions multiplied or divided, okay, we're going to be able to apply those same concepts that we had applied before and figure out our answer, okay? And like I said, we want to reduce or simplify before we start. Cancel, another way to call it, because if we don't, it's going to be a lot harder at the end to figure out what they have in common, okay? 2's would be easy to reduce by because we know that they're both even. We can reduce by 2 at least. But if we can figure out and cancel it down, Jarvis. Okay, if we can reduce and cancel it down before we start, you're going to make your end job a lot easier. Okay? So, our first example, 56 over 27 times 14 over 21 times 15 over 22. Like I said, our job is to reduce first. So one of the keys that we need to look for is to make sure that you've got multiplication signs, right? Because that bold from one of our other lessons, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but the bold said we could only reduce once we've gotten everything into multiplication form. Okay? So, once we've got it in multiplication, we've checked it, what are we going to do first? What do we want to do here with this? I need all eyes up here, pencils are down unless we're taking notes.
I'm doing it.
You're doing this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are we going to do? How do we start this one? How do we start it? Do I have a board volunteer? Me!
No.
You working on this problem?
You're working on that problem. Yep. What do you see?
I see fractions, 3 fractions.
You see 3 fractions.
And I know that I need to multiply.
I'm put on the block.
Jarvis.
Put on the block.
Jarvis.
Put on the block.
Multiply.
Okay, we got it.
I'm going to divide these 2 by 9.
Okay, here's the thing. We can only compare the top
And the
to the bottom.
bottom.
Okay, so you can't take 2 on the bottom to compare.
I mean, like these.
Okay, so what are you going to divide them by?
9.
Is 56 divisible by 9?
No.
No. Okay, so let's look at 56. What are some factors of 56? What are some factors of 56, Crochet?
Yeah.
7 and what? Come on.
8.
7 and 8. Okay, do any of the numbers, can any of the numbers on the bottom be divided by 7 or by 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, which one?
9.
9. No, I need to know. Let's erase this 9, okay?
Oh, you talking about?
Let's erase this 9. Okay, 56, I'm going to help you out. 56 you told me could be divided by 7, is 7 times 8. Let's break each one down. Let's start with that. 14 would be what? 7 times 2. 15? 3 times 5. 27? 9 times 3. 21? 22? 11 times 2. Okay, so now that we've got some steps, do you see any 7s or 8s on the bottom? In green? 7s or 8s? Yeah, that one. So let's divide this, gentlemen. Let's divide this one by 7. What do you get? What do you get if you take 56 and divide it by 7? What do you get? You get 8, right? Down here, you take 21 and divide it by 7. What do you get? 3, okay? Now let's look. 7's taken care of, right? 7 and 2. You see any 7s or 2s down here? Yeah, where? A 2, okay? So they have a 2 in common. So we can cross off the 2 and circle the other number, right? That means we're taking that 14, dividing it by 2. We get 7. Take this 22 divided by 2, we get 11, right? Okay? So 8s and 7s, looking good. 3 and 5. 3 and 3. So let's divide it by 3. What do you get up here? 15 divided by 3, you get
5.
5. Down here, divided by 3, you get 9. So 8, 7, 5, 9, 3, 11. Okay? Does 8 have anything in common with 9, with 3, or with 11?
No.
No. Does 7 have anything in common with 9, 3, or 11?
No.
Does 5 have anything in common with 9, 3, or 11? No. So now your job is to multiply across the top and then multiply across the bottom.
Give me some time.
That's okay? 8 times 7?
That's
See
5,
that?
8 times 7? 8 times 7 per
I'll
se?
give you no time.
I'm giving you time. What's 8 times 7? Gentlemen and ladies, let's let Portia do this one. 8 times 7?
56.
56. Okay, so you've got 56 times 5. 30. 5 times 5?
28.
Sorry, 3 times, yeah, 28. Perfect. So 280 over, what's 9 times 11? 99 times 3. 9 times 3 plus 2?
Oh, 27, 29.
29. So your answer? 280 over 297.
and you
Okay?
cannot
And
simplify.
we cannot simplify because she simplified everything she possibly could before we did our math. Before we multiplied across. Good job, Portia. All right. That was example 22.1. Good job. Okay, 22.2. Is that one exactly the same? Are we going to do that one exactly the same
No.
way that we just did this one? No, why not?
Because
Because it is a division.
Ooh, there's a division sign. Exactly.
What?
There's a division sign. Keep change flip. So which one? We've got 26 over 30. 26 over 30 times 21 over 39 divided by 4 over 15. So, Damon's telling me keep change flip. Damon, what am I keeping, what am I changing, and what am I flipping? Looking up here. We got to figure it out. So you've got multiplication here. You've got division between these two. So which one's our keeper? We'll read it to me. Keep which one?
21.
Which one? You got to name it. Don't just point, because when you point, it doesn't tell me where you... The second one. We're going to keep the second one. Okay? And then we're going to change what? Put that away, Portia. Division sign. You're going to change it to what? A dot. Multiplication. And then you're going to flip. What is it going to be? Say it again. 15 over 4. Okay, so I'm just going to erase it. Change and 15 over 4. That 4 over 15 flipped. So now my job is to what? Reduce. Okay? So, Portia took care of my last one. Can I have a volunteer to reduce it for this one? Jarvis, go for it. You want to come up?
Portia, go for it.
Quickly, please. We only have a limited amount of time. I need you to hurry with this one, please. What are you going to divide 30 by? 5. Okay. If you don't want to write it like that, you don't have to, but if that's helpful for you, please do. Okay?
2 times 8. 3 times 9. Do it, Portia.
Okay, what else?
Start.
2 times
13 times 2.
Peanut gallery. I'm going to help you out here.
No. 13 times 3.
See, now you're taking the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can cross off the common one and circle the one they don't have in common. That makes sense? Because if you're dividing, so let's find one they have in common. So 3 and 3? Okay, so that would mean that we can cross off the 3 because you're dividing it by 3, right? Okay? Your turn. Okay? 10 and 7. Perfect. What else?
I didn't even know they had that.
Okay. Forget your other one whenever you do the division. Okay, good. Alright, now do they have anything else in common?
Yes.
Look across. Does 13 have anything in common with 10? Does 13 have anything in common with 13?
Yes.
Yes, what do they have in common? Good. Okay, 7, 10, 1 or 2?
Huh? No.
7, 5 with 10, 1 or 2?
Yes.
Okay, go for it. Perfect. Okay, so now you've got 1, 7, and 1. You've got 2, 1, and 2. Anything else in common? Nope, I agree. So now we can multiply across the top. 7, 1, and 7, and 2, 1, and 2. 7 over 4. Perfect. Alright, so our final answer for that second one is 7 over 4. Alright, so again, make sure you check and make and double check, triple check, double check. Jarvis, sit down, please. Okay? 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. We need to make sure we have all multiplication before we can start our reducing, our canceling, our simplification, however you want to call it, okay? Jarvis, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Okay? So, again, multiplication, make sure. All of it's multiplication, okay? You've got your practice problems, A, B, C, and D. And we will do lesson 22, 1 through 30 for homework.